Tonight, Jamaica has recorded 14 COVID-19 related deaths in the last 24 hours, taking fatalities to 834, while 98 new cases of the virus were recorded. Indicom has launched an independent inquiry into the fatal police shooting incident that took place on Monday. Still tonight, 28-year-old businessman who allegedly fatally shot his best friend charged with murder. And the St. James Police Division is to restore the police post at the Charles Gordon Market in Montego Bay. Good evening. Jamaica has recorded 98 new COVID-19 cases and 14 deaths from the virus in the last 24 hours. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the latest fatalities are 3 females and 11 males from the parishes of St. Thomas, Trelawney, St. Anne, and St. Mary. Now, this takes the country's death toll to 834. Meanwhile, the new cases consist of 47 females and 51 males, ranging in age from 4 days to 89 years. This takes the total confirmed coronavirus cases on the island since the outbreak to 47,020. The new cases were recorded as follows. Kingston and St. Andrew recorded 30 cases. St. Catherine recorded 22 cases. St. James, 16 cases, St. Mary, 10. St. Elizabeth and Manchester recorded 4 cases each. Clarendon and Hanover recorded 3 cases each. Trelawney and Westmoreland recorded 2 cases each. Portland and St. Anne recorded 1 case each, while no new cases were recorded in St. Thomas. Meanwhile, a total of 125 persons recovered from the virus in the last 24 hours, taking the total of recovered persons now to 22,761. There are 23,085 active cases of the virus on the island at this time. In other news tonight, the Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, has started an independent inquiry into the fatal police shooting incident that took place on Monday along Trafalgar Road in St. Andrew. Now, according to Indicom, there has been some speculation, confusion, and inaccuracy in the initial reports broadcasted, which require clarity. Indicom said the police reported that upon receipt of information concerning a fatal shooting incident in the Swallowfield community, details of a vehicle believed to be transporting gunmen were transmitted. The vehicle was spotted and intercepted along Trafalgar Road, where 3 officers initially confronted the occupants. During that encounter, gunshots were fired. The details of the circumstances of the discharge of the weapons are under examination. The commission also said multiple video recordings from social media, private locations, and Jamaica Eye will be examined to ascertain the chronology of the events. Anyone who witnessed or has information regarding this incident is being asked to contact Indicom at 876-968-1932, 876-968-8875, or via WhatsApp at 876-553-5555. We go to news from Westmoreland now, as the Savannah-Lamar police have commenced an investigation surrounding the fatal shooting of a man at his home at Seaton Crescent in the parish yesterday. The deceased has been identified as 35-year-old Ryan Ennis, otherwise called Focus. Reports from the police coming into our news center are that at approximately 11:50 a.m., Ennis was standing at the back of his house when he was approached by a lone gunman who opened fire, hitting him multiple times. The gunman made his escape in the area on foot, while residents summoned the police. Upon their arrival, Ennis was rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. In other news tonight, a 28-year-old businessman who allegedly fatally shot 27-year-old pool attendant Kimorley Anthony Forbes on Sunday night has been charged with murder. David Lee was charged yesterday following a question and answer session conducted by the police in the presence of his lawyer. According to police reports, at approximately 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, Lee invited Forbes and two of his cousins to the Spicy Hill Farm compound for drinks. The four men were reportedly drinking and talking when Lee started to act in a strange manner and allegedly used his hand to shove Forbes, his best friend, in his face. Forbes reportedly stood his ground, and Lee drew his licensed firearm and pointed it in the direction of one of Forbes's cousins. Lee then reportedly turned towards Forbes, pointed the weapon at him, and opened fire multiple times, hitting Forbes all over his body. When the police arrived at the location, Forbes was found in a pool of blood on the ground. He was rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police subsequently found Lee sitting inside his house. He was taken into custody and his firearm seized. Still making the news tonight, the St. James Police Division will restore the police post at the Charles Gordon Market in Montego Bay by the end of this month. Now, this comes in the wake of the alleged beating of a female vendor at the facility by a security guard. The decision was taken following discussions between the St. James Municipal Corporation, SJMC, which operates the facility, and the St. James Police earlier this week. Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Leroy Williams, told reporters yesterday that, quote, "I have been in discussions with the police high command in the parish, and there is a decision to have a police post, and that will be manned by the police to ensure that the types of infractions that are committed in the market, that they do not happen," end quote. A police post was established at the market just over 8 years ago in a bid to address the raft of safety issues that existed there at the time. However, a few years later, the police post ceased to operate. Yesterday, Superintendent Vernon Ellis, the commanding officer of the St. James Police Division, explained that the team will be posted at the market to work along with the municipal police to enforce public order at the facility. As we continue with the news tonight, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, has expanded its domestic violence intervention DVI centers to the parishes of St. Anne and St. Mary and is imploring persons to access the services. Head of the JCF's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, Senior Superintendent of Police, SSP Stephanie Lindsay, said that retrofitting of offices and training of personnel for 2 centers are being completed, with full operation slated for the next 2 months. She said that many domestic disputes that end with the death of persons started with quarrels and verbal abuse, and that every police station will shortly have a trained person who can handle situations that involve persons who know each other well, adding that neighbors can also assist by notifying the police. SSP Lindsay said, quote, "When you have a DVI center, these people, neighbors, can come in and tell the police what is going on. The victim may be too embarrassed to do it. Tell the police. There are many pathways from which help can come," end quote. The JCF has 4 DVI centers in operation, 2 in St. Andrew and 2 in St. Thomas, with expansion being finalized for 6 other police divisions. The DVI care centers operate under the JCF's Community Safety and Security Branch and are equipped with trained counselors, psychologists, and other professionals. SSP Lindsay said community persons should help prevent domestic disputes from escalating and encourages persons to report it as something will be done. Help is on the way. Still making the news tonight, an Ananda alert has been activated for 16-year-old Ronika Frank of Martha Bray, Falmouth, Trelawney, who has been missing since Tuesday, May 11. She is of brown complexion, medium build, and approximately 175 centimeters or 5 feet 9 inches tall. Reports from the Falmouth Police coming into our news center tonight are that at approximately 3:30 p.m., Ronika was last seen on the Martha Bray main road in the parish wearing a grey dress and a pair of red slippers. She has not been heard from since. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Ronika Frank is being asked to contact the Falmouth Police at 876-954-2615, Police Emergency 119, or the nearest police station. And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with other stories as more than 100 informal operators in the micro, small and medium-sized enterprise MSME sector will benefit from support to transition to formal status. And at 11 years old, most children would find joy in playing and having fun with their friends. But for 11-year-old Christopher Ellis, he finds joy in taking care of his family's business, raising rabbits and birds. But first, we'll go to a break and then join Christopher Scott with the very latest in sports.